Can't forget
miles,
about the Lost
with known
Child.
depths reaching around 700 feet.
700
Most of the team
feet?
had
Oh my
years of
goodness.
caving experience behind them, and, like many seasoned explorers, they were confident in their abilities. They carefully prepared for the
Bro, just send me a
expedition,
party invite to
studying
Fortnite.
maps, planning their route, and packing the necessary gear. But in the world of caving,
Yo, Roblox
there's a brutal
character.
truth. When something goes wrong, no amount of planning can guarantee safety. Even the most experienced explorers can find themselves in life-threatening situations. That
What
is
the
exactly what
Sigma?
happened to one member of the group, Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
At first, the expedition went smoothly. The team moved deeper into the cave, using their equipment to overcome each obstacle. But everything changed when they reached a section known as the Tube, an extremely narrow passage that required crawling forward on
What
their stomachs.
happened?
To make matters worse, part of the passage was filled with water, making visibility and breathing even more difficult. Despite the dangerous conditions, the group decided to continue. The thinnest member went first and managed to squeeze through. Bob Johnson went next, and he was far less fortunate. At first, he made steady progress through the tube, but soon he began to struggle, even in the slightly wider sections. Somehow he reached the narrowest part of the passage, and that's where his luck ran out.
Wait, what's going on, bro? Come on, brother, get out.
He became completely wedged from the waist down, and every attempt to free himself only made things worse. Being stuck in such a tight space is already horrifying.
He's
The feeling
making
of
it
solid
out.
rock squeezing your body, the walls closing in. You can't move. You can barely breathe, and panic begins to creep in.
He's
For Bob,
making it out.
the nightmare was just beginning. On top of being trapped, he now had to face a far more terrifying
He has to
threat.
get out, bro, or
Rising
the
water.
water's gonna rise.
Water makes any caving trip infinitely more dangerous. In a dry cave, even if you get stuck, at least you have time to think, time to plan. But when water starts rising, the situation becomes deadly within minutes. Imagine freezing water slowly climbing up your body while
that-
you are trapped in solid rock,
Oh my
unable to move.
goodness.
The terror is indescribable.
Once you get
Bob
like
knew
a
he had only
hand,
a short time before drowning
like
became a real
once you're like a
possibility,
head
and he
only,
fought
or
desperately
like
to
a
free
hand,
himself.
bro, you're
But
cooked.
the water soaked through his clothing,
After a
making him
hand, you're
heavier,
pretty much
and his
cooked. Two
escape attempts
noses.
even more hopeless. Just when the situation seemed completely hopeless, one of the team members had an idea. The idea that would ultimately save Bob's life.
Yeah, it looks tight. Golly, I get it. Pull in!
Instead of trying to push him forward, the team members behind him began carefully pulling him back the way you came, and it worked. Bob was finally freed, though his ordeal was far from over. Later, he shared in the comments that he and the two teammates who rescued him had to crawl for another 3 hours to escape the cave through an alternative route. This incident left such a deep psychological scar that even today, Bob says he can't watch the footage from that day without experiencing severe anxiety.
Yeah, I got anxiety watching it. I'm not even
This
there.
unsettling video was filmed by Jacob, an experienced explorer obsessed with uncovering
We just
the
watched
secrets
Jacob
of
get
abandoned mines.
knocked
For nearly
out.
20 years, he had descended into forgotten tunnels, documenting his journeys and sharing the hidden history of these places with his viewers. But this time was different. This time he encountered something he would never forget. On the cold, rainy evening of December 5th, 2017, Jacob drove down a dark, deserted road toward another abandoned mine, unaware of what awaited him underground.
Okay, that's the portal to the Waldeck mine. I'm inside. The wind has kind of died down a little bit, and it's not raining, so I managed to stay dry. Of course, I'm inside this little alcove, kind of. But anyway, you come down this.
Wait,
incline
Rex, look at that.
path, and then big boulders here. You have to climb
Big
over,
boulders.
And the tunnel's right behind me.
A
This
black
way.
hole. That is
So let's
scary.
check it out. Let's get in here.
At first, everything seemed normal, almost calm, but the deeper he ventured, the stronger a strange feeling of unease grew inside him as he passed beneath rotting wooden beams, barely holding back the crushing weight of the earth. After more than 15 minutes of walking, something strange appeared on camera.
We're going to take this branching tunnel that we skipped on the way in. I'm assuming that X means a dead end or somebody died.
A faint flash of light deep in the tunnel,
Oh.
like a distant flashlight beam. Though Jacob didn't notice it at the time, moments later, disturbing sounds began to echo through the tunnel. Soft, whisper-like noises coming from somewhere just out of sight.
Oh.
Do you hear that? Sounds like, what, is that wind? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. Do you hear that? It stopped. Well, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow. I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy. I don't know what that is. So let's get out of here. And
It's like
back out to the portal.
that
that was weird.
is weird.
I think I keep hearing something. That was strange. I hear the air blowing here.
Better have that Glock on him.
Wow. I'm getting out of here, and you can really hear that airflow. I'm getting out of here and heading home.
Uneasy, Jacob turned back toward the entrance. But on his way out, he noticed another tunnel he had missed before, and cautiously decided to investigate.
Why?
Tunnel here.
Run, bro.
I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there.
Run, bro.
Don't know if you can see that in the video.
Run, bro. Quit talking, yapping and hollering, hooting and hollering,
Inside,
and
steel
get out of
chains
there,
hung from the
bro.
ceiling, ordinary at first glance, until he saw one of them slowly swaying back and forth, as if someone had just touched it. That was enough for Jacob. Realizing he was not alone, he immediately left the mine and never looked back. To this day, he still has no explanation for what happened in
Oh
that
my
tunnel.
goodness.
It remains an unsolved mystery.
Underground
This
with
unsettling
spiders.
30-minute video was filmed by a man named Daniel, who entered a cave with two of his friends despite having no proper caving experience or equipment. Only a few minutes after going underground, they got lost, as anyone would expect.
Bro got lost.
While searching for a way out, Daniel discovered a small
What is that?
chamber
Oh.
crawling with massive spiders.
Ew.
Oh, I'm not scared of spiders, but there's a shitload of them. Okay, spiders, don't touch me and I won't touch you.
And to make things even worse, one of his friends nearly became stuck between the cave walls. At first, the group tried to stay calm and act as if everything was under control. But as the video goes on, the tension rises and panic slowly begins to take over. Fortunately, after a terrifying struggle in the darkness, all three of them eventually managed to find their way out unharmed.